welcome back to ChromaticKnits. My name is Michelle, and this is my podcast all about my knitting adventures. You can find me on Instagram as chromatic_knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as ChromaticKnits. It has been a couple weeks since my last podcast. I have a lot to share with you, so feel free to grab your own crafting, your crochet, your laundry, your lunch, whatever it is that you're working on, or maybe just a cup of tea, and let's get into it. So it's been 2 weeks. This has been a great 2 weeks, 10 out of 10. Well, I would say 9 out of 10, because this 2 weeks, my partner and I went out of town. We went to St. Louis for our anniversary. It has been 3 years. So exciting. I love her so much. And we went to the Cardinals games. She's a huge Cardinals fan, so we went to the Cardinals games because her favorite players, Melina, Pujols, and Wainwright, are retiring, and this would be their last season games together. Plus, they had additional things on Friday, Saturday nights, and then they also had something on Sunday, but we just didn't have the time to stay another day. But they were giving out bobbleheads at all of the games, which was super fun. We got a bobblehead the first night. We did not the second night because it was crazy. Like, we showed up for the game on Friday, and there were like lines everywhere, like crisscrossing. Like, it was impossible to find the beginning of a line or the end of a line. It was crazy. Like, lines leading into other lines and crisscrossing a line. Like, it was insane. So we decided we're not going to do that again. Like, they let people into the stadium 30 minutes early because it was so crazy outside of the stadium. Like, that's a lot. So we decided not to deal with that insanity Saturday night. So we went a little bit later, and it was great. 10 out of 10. Hotel was great. Seats were great. First night we were down on the floor right behind home plate. It was great. And then the second night we were on the third baseline on the 300 level, which is the third level of the stadium. I have Aria here with me. She's just laying behind me on the chair. But yeah, it was great. So that was definitely the highlight of the past 2 weeks. We also had our AC go out, which was not a highlight, which is why it gets 9 out of 10. But luckily, it was just that we had a filter. So there's a MERV score on your filters. It basically says how thick it is, like how many pieces there are per inch or whatever. And if it's too high, then the vent can get blocked and put backup pressure on the AC unit, which can make the AC unit shut down or not work properly. Or it can make it blow the breaker, which is what happened in this instance. So we just needed to get a new filter, and we just needed to flip the breaker. So 10 out of 10. That was great. We do have a home warranty, so in case it did go out, we are covered. Last summer, I don't know if you remember this or not, but basically our downstairs unit went out. There was this problem with a switch on it that was making it freeze. And at the time, they told us that we probably had maybe another season left with these AC units. So we decided to keep our home warranty, just in case. So, but yeah, I'm glad that it was something simple, something easy to fix. 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10, but that it happened. But 10 out of 10 on the repair situation. That we're not having to, spend 10 grand on a new unit, which our friends have had to do in the past year, and was not a good time for them. So we just want to avoid that if at all possible. What else? I got a lot of knitting done. I took some time for me the past couple of weeks, just taking some time to think about what I want to do, as far as like goals for myself and how I'm going to reach those goals and all those types of things. So I'm starting a new weight loss regimen, which is awesome. working out multiple times a week, have some people supporting me, can be eating better, all those types of things. So yeah, so that's going to be awesome. And what else? I don't know, just relaxing. Also, I am trying to beat my niece's level at Fortnite because she is super competitive and vicious with her commentary on how I play. Like, she is 7, she has no filter, and she has nothing that stops her from saying exactly what she is thinking. So, yeah. But, you know, as one does, trying to beat out a 5-year-old, or a 7-year-old actually, in a game. But, you know, that's how it goes. What else? I think that's about it. Is that about it, Arya? I think that's about it for the last couple of weeks. But like I said, I was able to get some knitting done. So, first thing, I finished. I haven't sewn in the ends, but I'm not going to show this again on the podcast just to show you that I sewed in the ends. So, I finished the Love Bug Mittens. This is a pattern by Pearl Soho. So that's the mittens. These are for my niece. Actually, the one I'm trying to beat at Fortnite. So, this is by Yarnia. So the yarn that I used for this, the navy blue is Knit Pick Swish worsted, which is a superwash merino. And the gray is Cascade 220, which is worsted, also superwash merino. So they can be washed and dried, which is important with young children, because she will get them dirty. I know that she will lose these. I'm completely aware of that. They did not take me that long to make. I just want her to have something else underneath the tree. So, and what is more special than a handmade gift, right? Other than V-Bucks. That's what she's already that's what she's already demanded for Christmas. She's like, I want V-Bucks. V-Bucks, if you don't know, is the currency that you can use on Fortnite to buy things like dances and different skins so that you could look like different characters when you play. Yeah. So she has demanded V-Bucks. And this is in my Mrs. Brown's bag. I believe this is the Jazz colorway. That is this pattern. I believe so. And yeah, I love this bag. Super, like, holds up really well. Super thick canvas. If you don't have a Mrs. Brown's bag, would highly recommend. She usually has stuff in her shop, so you can just search Mrs. Brown's bag. She has her own website now, so you can check that out. But I have worked on 4 other things as well. So, only one finished object for this week, so let's get into whips. So, going along with the Christmas knitting theme, I started a pair of mittens, and I have a hoe. I started the Norwegian Totoro mittens for my other niece. So Totoro, if you don't know, looks like that. So he's got like a little umbrella that he holds in the show. So this is a pattern. This was a free pattern on Ravelry, but it got taken down by Studio Ghibli, who owns the rights to Totoro, to the Totoro franchise. But I managed to find it online as a PDF. So if you just look up Totoro mitten PDF, it'll come up. So just basic, and then it's got this little character on the thumb on that side and then on that side. Yeah, was super simple chart, and then you just put in the thumb kind of after the fact. So super easy. And then I also have, if I can find where the end of my needles are, there we go. I've also done the ribbing in like the first row of the second mitten. So we're getting there. All good. So I'm knitting this on a size, let's see, US 4. These are my Knitter's Pride Melody needles. Would highly recommend. Really like these needles. They're just pointy enough, but they're not so pointy that they split your yarn. So kind of the best of both worlds. So I'm just knitting this magic loop and the yarns that I'm using for this. So again, this is another worsted weight pattern. So I'm using the rest of the Cascade 220. So I'm using more, I guess, of the Cascade 220 that I used for the Love Bug mittens, which is the light gray. It's just a superwash merino and worsted weight. And then to get the dark color, I'm actually holding Knit Pick Stroll, which is a fingering weight yarn. I'm holding it double in the ash colorway, and it's working out really well. Some really good stitch definition. You can definitely tell that that's Totoro. So yeah, really liking how this is turning out. And she's gonna love it. She's a huge Studio Ghibli Totoro fan, so I really hope that she likes them come Christmas time. And that is in my Della Q bag. This is the black rainbow colorway for this bag. I got it from Jimmy Bean's Wool, so you can check those out there. And it just snaps together and keeps all your stuff together, and then you can see what it is that's in your bag. So would highly recommend. This is my first time using these bags, and I've seen some other people use them. I know the girls on the We Share Needles podcast love these bags, as well as some other podcasters that I've seen. So would highly recommend if you're interested in that. The only thing that I don't like about these bags is that they don't have a handle on them, so they are a little bit clumsy to hold. But if you're just packing them into another bag, like a book bag or a suitcase, then these are perfect for what you're looking for. Or I have a stand that I have that just sits next to, I have like a little cart with shelves on it, so I put all my knitting projects on there that I'm working on, so it's right next to my desk, because I knit when I work a lot of the time, or I knit at my desk a lot of the time. So yeah, so they just sit there, so that's perfect for me. But yeah, that's kind of the one drawback, personal opinion, about these bags. And they're also really affordable, so they usually come in a pack of 2 or 3. So I got a pack of 2. I got a large, so this is like the extra large, and then there's another one that's the large that came with it. And it holds a lot. So there's 3 balls of yarn in here. There's a worsted weight ball of yarn, there's 2 stroll balls of yarn, and then there's a full mitten in here, as well as the other cuff. So I mean, it holds a decent amount in there. So if you are interested in those bags, again, Jimmy Bean's Wool is where you will find those. Continuing with kind of whips that I've shown on the podcast before. I have shown this many times, but I just want to continue to show my progress because I worked on it and I want to show it, and it's my podcast, so that's what I'm going to do. So I have, this is again my Slip Stravaganza blanket. This is a pattern by Stephen West. And I've done a couple more rows of the bubble section. So I was down here, right where the white starts, end of the purple into the white, and then we've done another of the Monstera, the teal section, and then started another purple section. So we are getting there, little by little. Each row of this takes a long time to knit. It takes, I don't know, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour per row. I'll have to time it. And let you know. But because there's just so many stitches on the needles, because right now it's on 2 60-inch cables, that's huge. Like, it's too big for one 60-inch cable, so now it's on two 60-inch cables, so it's just a huge blanket. And it's gonna get even bigger. So, but yeah, so I made some progress on that. I did run out of the Monstera, which is a yarn, a DK weight yarn by a homespun house. So I did put some on order, and should be here, I don't know when, because it's coming all the way from Germany. So we shall see. And sometimes it just takes longer because, again, international shipping just takes longer. So we shall see when that gets here, but I just wanted to get it on order because eventually I'm going to get back to that color again. So figured should get it on order so that when I am ready for it again, we can actually do it. Otherwise, it's just going to be sitting in the WIP pile and the UFO pile until I get that. Okay, so my next two objects are new. So this is a new cast on. This is an Awesome bag by Awesome Granny. So if you just look up bags by Awesome Granny, it'll come up. So it's a cat knitting. Isn't that cute? Little kitties knitting. I love it so much. And one of the cats has glasses, which also makes me very happy. Anyway, so in this, so right now, for those of you who don't know, Hohi Locatelli is having a Hohi Along. The Hohi Along is September, October, November. And what you do during the Hohi Along is before it starts, you fill out a form that says that basically you are intending to participate in the Hohi Along, and you put in the name of the project that you plan to make. So I submitted that I was going to knit a Pure Joy, which is a shawl. It is a narrow crescent-shaped shawl. And it is knit in fingering weight. This is what I have so far. And so what I'm using for this is the navy blue. So both of these yarns are by Plucky Knitter. Let's see. Make sure that I get the names right. So the dark blue is Dive Bar is the name of this colorway. And the light gray is Smoke and Mirrors is that colorway. Again, this is fingering weight, and this is her Rambouillet base. This she had a huge sale on during the Plucky Knitter birthday sale, and it was 50% off. So I bought a lot of Plucky Knitter, like more than I should. But do I regret it? No, I don't. So yeah, so I'm using Dive Bar and Smoke and Mirrors to make this shawl. I'm so looking forward to this. This is a joy to knit. I saw this for the first time on the Grocery Girls. Jody made it, and then ever since I'm like, I should totally make that shawl. So yeah, so I am getting through the sections. It is a lot of knitting because, again, you're making a fingering weight shawl. So there's just a lot of rows, but it's very straightforward knitting, and it's a very memorizable pattern. So if you just want like a mindless knit, would highly recommend this knit for sure. If you are one who just loves your garter stitch and just wants to knit and not purl and not do anything crazy, like this is the pattern for you. 110%. So would highly recommend. I am knitting this on my Chowgu, let's see, 6s, which is 4mm needles. It did say to make a gauge swatch. I did not, because it's a shawl and not a sweater, and honestly, it's fine. So, let's see. Rambouillet base, 420 yards, 100% Rambouillet yarn. So that is going on in here. I'm hoping to get that done. I don't know. The Hohilong also has other challenges, so each month they give you a different challenge. So like an extra project that you can put in and you can submit for like a chance to win. So at the end they draw a winner from all the FOs from the FO thread, and and you can win a prize if you complete it. The problem is that there's this guy. His name's Stephen West. He kind of has this like minor thing that he did on October 6th. It's like an MCAL that he does every year, and I kind of started that one too. So if you are doing the Stephen West MCAL and do not want it to be spoiled, please skip the next section because I will be showing this shawl, talking about how it's going, where we're at, and yeah. So be aware of that. You might want to skip ahead a little bit. So again, this is the Twist and Turn shawl by Stephen West. The first instruction is make 124 rows of an I cord. Excuse me, sir? What? That's a lot. That's a lot just off the, like, out of the gate. So, this first section is a chevron section. I'm not done with clue 1. This is just the beginning. I've completed, like, the first repeat of the pattern. So what it is you have these little chevron-y sections, and then you have these straight loop sections, and what I believe happens is that you knit these into each other so that it becomes a V section as well. So, I haven't gotten that far yet, and I'm not doing that part yet, but I will by the end of it. So you just pull these, kind of like when you pick up a drop stitch, it's like that. So you're just gonna like knit them into each other. So yeah, so you just constantly like cast on and bind off stitches like every couple of rows. So you just alternate. So I have, and you need like 10 stitch markers or something to start off with. So I've got all these. These, majority of them are from A Needle Runs Through It or Katrinkles. So like this one, the ones that are lighter, these two are from Katrinkles. They're sharks, because I got their Shark Week, Shark Month stitch markers, but the rest are all from A Needle Runs Through It. So some of them are like Harry Potter themed. Some of them are like, this is one that she gives you for free with every order that just says all you knit is love. But they're just like laser cut wood stitch markers. And I love them. I love them a lot. So would highly recommend. If you haven't checked out their shop, they have an Etsy store, so Google them. And the Katrinkles ones I got on Jimmy Bean's Wool, I think. Yes, Jimmy Bean's Wool, so you can check them out there. Anyway, and they also had them on the Katrinkles website. So if you don't find it on Jimmy Bean's Wool, you can check it out there. It was either the Katrinkles website or Jimmy Bean's Wool, not 100%. So I'd check both places if you're interested. Anyways, so this is going along really well. I'm really liking the pattern. It is, I haven't really been able to memorize it quite yet. But I think it will be eventually memorizable, but I probably will memorize it like right as I'm done with this section. So I'm on track to finishing this in time for Clue 2 to come out next Thursday. I still have a lot of knitting to do, but I think I can get it done because, again, I knit most of the day while I'm working. So I am able to do that, and I have a lot of meetings and things that I go to, so I can just sit there and knit. Plus, I have knit night tomorrow, so we can get some knitting done there. So, yes. Again, my yarns, if you don't remember, my light gray is La Bien Aimée in their Cashmerino base, which is an 75-15, 10. So 75% merino, 15% cashmere, 10% nylon. in the colorway Direwolf. This was I was originally going to do the Slip Stravaganza shawl, and then I decided that I didn't want to, and then I decided that I didn't like it. I was too scared to do the MCal because it felt like very, what is the word that I'm looking for? Like, it just seemed like it was just too big and too much at the time. So I got this as part of my Slip Stravaganza kit and then just never used it. So it was just sitting in my stash. So everything in my shawl I got from stash. Woot woot. I didn't buy anything. I'm so proud of me. You should be proud of me too. So light gray is Direwolf by La Bien-Aimée. The dark gray is from Leading Men Fiber Arts. This is in the Don't Fear the Reaper colorway. This is their cashmere merino base, which is an 80-10-10. I've had this in stash forever too, so just been looking for a good project for it. So I have a light gray, a dark gray, and then my contrasting color is a Madeline Tosh merino sock. So my accent color is right here. Like, if I can find it. This is the Madeline Tosh Twist Light Base in the Vino Forever colorway. Oh my god, I love this so much. I got this in Oklahoma City and was like, I need to find the perfect project for this. So soft. And this is it. So it's perfect. So we're going to be using that. Again, this is in my Hohi & Co bag. Would highly recommend that as well. So that is coming along. I still have, like I said, a few more sections to do, but we're getting there. Some other things in knitting news, other than actual knitting that I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing the Hohi Along. I'm doing the Stephen West MCal. I also signed up to do the pigskin party. Now, I did this last year, and I participated, but I felt like I didn't get a lot out of it. Like, my team wasn't very chatty and didn't really participate very much. So I felt like I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a great opportunity to meet people and make friends on Ravelry and blah, blah, blah. And it never happened. So, like, I was participating, but, like, no one was getting back to me. Like, no one was responding. So I was, like, on the fence about doing it again this year, because you can still join at any time. So I joined last week. I was like, I'm going to be making these things anyway. You know, I can just submit them, get some points, give myself the serotonin of completing something and getting, like, credit for it. And yeah. So I signed up before I cast on the Stephen West MCal and some of these other things, so I can submit them for points, which is awesome. If you are unfamiliar with Pigskin Party, basically what it is from the day that football season kicks off, they have you sign up, say that you're going to participate, and you get sorted into a team. And then once you find out what team you're on, you work with your team to make a team name. You talk to the people on your team. You have, like, your own little forum that you can post in. And then you submit a form for points for each project that you make. So you make a project page, you link it to the form, and then you get points based on the number of yards. Or sometimes they're, like, special challenges for the month. Like, you get bonus points if you use one of their sponsored designers' patterns, and you get bonus points if you use a sponsored yarn, or you get bonus points if you make a koozie, has been one in the past. So different things, like different types of projects or different products that you're using, or different patterns, again, that are sponsored, then you get extra additional points. So the point is to knit as much as you can, submit as much as you can, and get as many points as you can for your team. So the team with the most points wins. And I don't know, I can't remember if it's, like, the person who gets the most points wins a prize, or if it's the whole team. I don't know. And then there's three different leagues. So like you can win your league. So there's like the alpaca league, the sheep league, and then there's the something else. I can't remember. There's a third one. So like they're different fibers that you can use. So like one alpaca, alpaca, sheep. I can't remember what the other one is. So yeah, so I signed up for that. So I'm gonna be submitting some of my projects for that. The only other reason why I'm doing it is because I've really been getting out of the habit of making project pages. So I keep making all these things, and then I keep giving them away, and I don't have any pictures of them. So I'm trying to make some more project pages so that I can see all the things that I've made and can keep track of them on my Ravelry page. Yeah. So this will make me do that. So that's good. What else? If you are doing the Stephen West MCAL, I should have said this before, please let me know. I would love to hear how yours is going down in the comments. What yarns are you using? Are you using a kit that you got from Stephen and Penelope, or a kit you got from somewhere else, or did you pull from Stash too? I would love to hear all about your colors. I would love to hear all about your progress. If you want to share any pictures of me or your colorways with me on Instagram and you want to tag me in them, that would be awesome. I would love to see what you're working on, or if you're working on something totally different, please tell me what it is down in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys and hearing about all of your knitting adventures as well. That is all I have for this week. I did order some yarn, but it is not here, so I don't have any stash enhancement to show you. But I hopefully will in the next few weeks, because again, most of it's coming from Germany. So anyway, I hope that you have a wonderful week. I hope that your knitting is going well, the things that you are working on are going well, that you're having a productive week, and that you are having a wonderful day. I will see you in 2 weeks' time. And we'll catch up on knitting again. All right. Bye, everybody.